Alrighty, guys, welcome back. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to actually take you on the inside and get you to see a number of things that are inside the roadmap tools that we're using so that you can have an understanding of how things like the accountability works with you as well, because we ultimately want to make sure that each and every one of you get the same, not only the same experience, but the opportunity to have the results that we've been talking about this entire time. So we're gonna we're gonna do that though with two special guests. Our accountability coaches will be able to take you through, and you'll be able to see exactly how that works. Now, as a small reminder, there are replays available. You can go to cashflowdiary.com/2-day replays. If for some reason you haven't made it through or haven't been keeping up, you'll be able to go get those. And know that the replays and all that information will be coming down, but it'll be up for now. So go make that happen. Also, if for some reason you don't have your workbook already, go do that. cashflowdiary.com/2-day book. Remember, completing the workbook is worth money. We've actually shown you how much and where and what it's going to do for you. So making sure that you understand everything is only going to help you. It's just only going to help you do more, be that bigger, better, and badder as well. And this happens to be your first session with us today. We've gone through a number of different things. We're now going to go behind the scenes and show you what's inside the roadmap. And then coming up after that, though, is also more information about understanding the nuances, the differences, and how Cashflow Diary works, and specifically some tools that'll help you track your progress through everything. If you're looking for some of those videos, you can go over to the unit section inside the Facebook group. You'll be able to see it right there, which we believe will help you stay on top of everything. And ultimately, for those of you who are ready, by all means, get over to cashflowdiary.com/roadmap. As we've said before, you're going to get the 12 months of working with us. So myself training you multiple times per week, as well as a number of industry experts that we invite in from time to time, your dedicated accountability coach, as well as access to the app, being able to make sure you get your questions answered in a reasonable fashion so that you have the opportunity to become the bigger, better, badder entrepreneur that we know is inside. And if for some reason you're like, I've got a few questions first, and I would like to ask a question or two, no problem. Just go to cashflowdiary.com/2020. That's 2020. And we'll do our best to get you on the phone with Jeremy and or Robert, who are also in the chat. So feel free to reach out, because we would do our best to answer those questions and help you get started. Now, we are going to go on the inside. We're going to pull back the curtain, pretty much show you what's on the inside of everything, and ultimately put you in a position to go, wow, that's a lot. And we know that. So that's why we have the accountability coaches here to assist you, to walk you through it, and ultimately to help guide you on your journey. So it is now time for you to welcome, if you will, John and Wendy Williams. Yes, I got it right. Now, the magic touch is, can they hear me?
We've got to get closer so we can actually be in the picture.
Got it. So
we kind of like each other.
Yeah, well, good thing. Pretend like you do. I know quarantine and all, but you know.
Yeah, for sure. So, thanks for having us on here. We actually asked to come on because I think a lot of times you hear it from Jay and it comes out one way. And sometimes it's good to hear it from somebody else who's on the inside and actually is also a student. So we didn't start out on the team, so to speak. We started out as students of Jay's and basically followed.
a little extra something to the whole thing, because we live it, breathe it, do it every single day as well, just like everybody else.
Yeah, for sure. And a little bit of background about us, since we mentioned it, we actually got started doing this as an Airbnb business in our own home. Um, I think some people are saying there's no sound. Hopefully there is sound and you can hear us. But we actually got started doing this in our basement as amateurs, and then what we realized was we were doing so well down there that what we really needed was more basements, but we didn't know how to scale, and that's where Jay's training came in, and that's where we were able to say, okay, because our thought, like probably like yours, was, hey, we've got to go buy a bunch of property, and how are we going to do that? And to rewind even further, we were in the real estate game fixing and flipping houses, and we had recently had one go so bad that we had to keep it as a rental. And guess where all of our capital was? It was in that rental.
Yep.
And so we didn't have the cash like a lot of you guys are thinking. We didn't have the money to go do it, but we knew that it was a way to produce income, and it was a way that we enjoyed producing income, even perhaps more important. But Jay showed us the way, and we were able to do it. And currently we're in Charlotte, North Carolina. We've got 7 units and
17.
More importantly, 17 bedrooms.
17 bedrooms.
Because we have several 3-bedroom places, a lot of 2-bedroom places. In fact, we don't have any 1-bedroom places.
Right.
But that serves, again, going back, who do you serve? That serves our client type. We serve families with children who are coming to the area, relocating, have insurance claims, and are traveling with their pets. And then as a third option, we serve people that are, again, families with children, but are here for weddings, funerals, and that sort of thing. And as you might imagine, when the whole virus thing hit, those people that were coming for the weddings, funerals, and events stopped coming because
Right.
the events weren't happening. And so luckily, we were a part of the roadmap at that time, and we were able to learn the tools to pivot and actually do well. And I could tell you that April and May have actually been some of our best months in the middle of a pandemic. Yep. And it's because we're here. So that's what we want to share with you guys. I know that's a fear out there that does this work? Does this work now? And I want to tell you that yes, it does. It does. And we're doing it. So with that said, we kind of wanted to give you some insight and show you some behind the scenes of what you're actually getting in the roadmap. And to do that, we're going to share our screen with you. So hopefully you can see my screen. And when do you want to go with the first part here?
Okay. Which one are you going to do first?
This is the actual training.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. So when you become a roadmap student, you are actually getting all of Jay's training, like all of it. And there's a lot. But what we can do is we can walk you through, like, you don't have to consume all this content at once, right? So we may take you down the short-term rental mastermind first and have you go through that content with you to make sure that you understand the whole general overview of how this is going to work. And then you can, you're going to have to go wash one. Sorry, children.
Sorry, children. The pandemic. They're at home.
Children.
Yes. Hold on. We're trying to get your screen up. For some reason, I am not getting the feed of your screen at all. I'm still looking at you. Do you have a change the camera type of situation? Because it's not showing your screen this time, and I don't know why.
It's because John did not hit the start sharing button.
Oh, well.
So, if you're wondering whose fault it was, I get to take the blame for that.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
So you should see it now.
Yeah, I have it now. Give me a second. 1 second.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I was like, I can't find it. There we go.
Sorry.
Well, it also has you guys. It looks like it's showing you in the window at the same time. So something weird is happening. Give me a second.
That fix it?
Got it. There we go.
Okay. Sorry, apparently I have technical difficulties as well. So,
Hey, bro, you're preaching to the choir, man.
John,
so Wendy was going over this and she was telling you this is the pre-recorded training.
Yes,
And I was just showing you that, hey, there's a ton of it.
there is, and there is a lot. But what we do is we help chunk it into bite-sized, manageable pieces, because it is very overwhelming when you first get in here and you're like, oh my God, look at all this content. Where do I even start? I mean, that's everybody's question, is where do I start? So we help walk you through it and get you the knowledge that you need right from the very beginning. So that's what all of this is. I mean,
Yes.
you got, how to talk to investors. You got, the short-term rental mastermind. You've got the blueprint. You've got the no pride pricing. And I mean, it's just a lot of content that you have at your fingertips here. And it really, you need someone to walk you through it. And that's where we come in.
And be your guide. And I'll just point out, if this is all you got, it's probably still worth it.
True enough.
It's
True
probably
enough,
still worth it.
It is a lot.
Yes. For us, with this little square right here, just these three at the top, we did 6 figures last year. And there's all this other stuff too.
Yep. No doubt.
But you do get, but wait, there's more, right? Like the ShamWow. But let me show you another critical piece of this program. This is the what we call the network. So this is where you can communicate with other students. You can see that think of it kind of like Facebook, but personal to just people inside of the group. And you can see that, hey, we're communicating with each other on a daily basis. If you've got questions, if you've got things you want to collaborate with other operators, this is where you can do it. And you can see there's lots of activity on here. This is just from today and yesterday. Also in here is where you'll find our events. This is where we do our now 4 weekly calls. But the great thing about them is they're all recorded as well. So even if you join today.
And transcribed.
So even if you join today, you can go back and watch every class, every training that we've done up to this point as a group. And you can see that we do a lot of them. There's hours and hours and hours of content in here, but more importantly, this is live content. So this is something that, hey, we're going to meet with Jay and everybody else on Mondays, Thursdays, twice, where I think we're adding another one on Tuesday or Wednesday, but we've got so many we're having to spread them out across multiple days. But that's where you're going to accelerate and get the help that you need, because you're not just stuck with, hey, I've got this pre-recorded training. Now, how do I, actually implement that stuff? Well, there's the whole group here, and there's the live calls.
And it's not just Jay, too, right? It's also Jay bringing in the industry experts, such as Mike Moyer and Lisa Campbell, to help everybody.
And Al Williamson.
Yeah. So it kind of completes the circle there to help you be a more well-rounded type of business. So it also talks about what to do with your money and raising private capital,
right?
And maybe I want to go do the extended stay model. Well, here's an expert on that. So we bring in industry experts all the time to help guide us through all the things, and everything is happening so fast. I feel like, don't you feel like that things just change all the time?
Yes, and especially now. So you need something like this where you can go to a group multiple times per week and say, hey guys, what are we going to do? Let's bring in experts. Let's get training. Let's get experience from Jay, all those sorts of things. And that makes a huge difference over just a paid video recorded course, which you also do have access to. But this is the meat of it. This is where you get a lot of help in your business. And then a third thing is is us. So we're your accountability coaches. So now are we going to guide you through, hey, where should I be going next here? And, we're on these calls too. So that, as Jay mentioned earlier, when you ask a question or you get direction from either Jay or one of those experts or whoever, and they say, hey, you need to go do X, Y, and Z, then it's our job to say, okay, John, or okay, Jay, or okay, Wendy, I'm going to put that down as an action item for you, and I'm going to hold you accountable to that so that it actually gets done. Because how many times do we get direction or we get instruction and then we don't act on it? And the value in this is acting on it and taking those actions. So it's extremely valuable to have somebody there that's your personal guide, not only, but also your personal accountability partner and coach that is going to make sure that you do succeed and follow up with you. And we do that through another piece of software. This is called Coach Accountable, but this is personalized just for you. So we're doing things like setting actions for you to take, and we're also doing things like tracking your progress. Are you getting leases signed? Are you talking to the right number of landlords? Are you making calls? Are you identifying properties? Are you doing the action that it takes to be successful? And I think this is a very critical piece of the whole pie.
And that's what I wanted to talk about too, was that not only do we chunk this down for you, but we take your goals and your vision, and that's another reason that your vision is so important, because that's where we start. We start with the end in mind. Yes. And we take whatever goal you come to us with, and we say, okay, so you want to have 20 bedrooms by the end of our 12 months together. Great, no problem. So let's plan that out. Okay, here's the plan. So we help you plan that out and come up with a plan with you that's specific for you, that works for you. And then we chunk it down and we track it, and we do just like John was saying. We chunk it and say, okay, well, what's the very first step in getting there? And it is, creating
your vision and who do you want to serve?
Yes, right? That's exactly right. That's the very first thing that we have you do, is we make sure that your vision story is done, and you have done your whom do you wish to serve? Because that's where it all starts.
And then it's going to be, hey, let's go find the locations that match those the client that you're serving.
That's right.
Let's go talk to the right landlords. Here's how you talk to them. And see how all that works together, and how you have somebody that's there on your team, on your side, not only in a group setting, not only in a pre-recorded setting, but in a very personal setting, because we do these kind of calls via Zoom one-on-one. And right now, I think it says that we have to do them once a month, but I will tell you that we are doing them way more than once a month.
Way more than once a month.
We'll go as fast as you want to go.
Right.
And that's because we can right now. So that would be an advantage. I would say a huge advantage for getting in now. Not only because, hey, the price is probably going to go up, but you're going to get more than you're promised. Let's put it that way. So hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully it gives you a little taste of the inside. And one thing I'll leave you with, just to show you that, hey, we're not full of it. This is our calendar for May, and all that red are people staying in our units. So we have one up here that's not doing that well, and the rest of them are we're at 80 overall. We're 82% occupied across those 17 bedrooms. So we're doing it. We're walking the walk. We're talking the talk, and we're just glad to be here, and we'd love to have you on the inside with us. So that's what we had to say, Jay.
Awesome. Yes. Other than the small technical glitches that I created, I guess we eventually got there. So that's good.
That's okay.
I definitely appreciate you guys taking the time because it's important sometimes for people to know that we do walk the walk, talk the talk. We are exactly, we eat our own dog food. Is that how that goes? we do this. It's not hypothetical. We're not hoping. We not think it might be possible. This is just, it's every day to us. And even though it's every day, it's still just as impactful. Even though it's simple, it's still something that has created some difference for each and every person that has come across our door. So I'm curious, because I want to ask you a question. When it comes down to it, what have been some of the have there been any sort of lifestyle or family? How is your family, either family structure or whatever it is you guys do on a day-to-day basis, different because of the whole way short-term rentals work?
You want to go first?
No, you go ahead.
I would say one of the biggest things for us is, and especially right now, a lot of people are having to stay home, but they're also they're reconnecting with their family. They're able to spend time with their children, even though sometimes they bother us to death. But really, it's an advantage to say, okay, I can actually spend time with my family. And hey, let's go to the beach on a Tuesday, right? We don't have to wait till the weekend. It's not like, hey, when's vacation coming up? Because really, in reality, to run this business, what I need is my cell phone, and maybe a laptop. I don't even really need that. So I can do it anywhere in the world. It doesn't really matter where my units are now. Now, Jay's going to tell you start close to home, and that's really great advice. But once you get all those systems and processes and things that you're going to learn inside of the roadmap, once you get in there and you get all of that set up and get all that running, it doesn't matter where you are in the world or where you go, and you can spend time with your family. So that's my answer.
Yeah. Well, since we've been doing this, we've always been working from home. So that's
true. Yeah.
I mean, the kids are just so used to us being at home. So, but now they are also home, and now they see what we do all day while they're gone, but they're usually gone. So that has been a struggle for us, and getting in the homework. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's been a struggle. It's a real struggle.
I think every parent is going to appreciate their child's teacher a lot more.
Yes.
But I also think a lot of parents have now learned that their teachers, I saw a meme, it said, "You lied. My kid is not a joy to have in class."
Right.
I thought that was hilarious, because that's just one of the things that we now we know. It is what it is. This is good.
And
nonetheless, I definitely appreciate you guys, taking the time, doing the thing. And yeah, it is weird in the sense that everyone else is now doing what we normally do every day. We're always at home. Kids are always right there. It's no big deal. And we do have choices. The choices that before were not possible, but through the systems and applications. So that's there. I definitely appreciate you guys taking the time. And most importantly, being a product of the product, I guess, is the best way of saying it. You're not just hypothetically saying that that's possible. And it's just really important, I think, that everybody hear that we all do this. It's not a we hope it might work one day. It's not a we heard it one day. It's this is how it's done. We all do it the same way. We serve different people, and it doesn't matter. All the things that we think matter really don't. And the ones that do matter, we get together, we talk about it, and we work it out. So I definitely appreciate you guys taking the time to be here today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. Anytime. So, ladies and gentlemen, you get it. This is literally what we do. Now, I appreciate those of you who were patient with me, and you now know why the people in Hollywood get paid the big bucks to do all that audio stuff, because it's not easy figuring it out real time and pressing buttons. And I'm just like, oh crud, I hit the wrong one. And I know some of you got the idea, right? This is what we do day in and day out, which on the outside looking in, it may look like magic. It could look like many different things, but ultimately it's what we're inviting you to do as well. We're inviting you to come and join us, because on the other side, the idea of having choices is exciting. It's exciting to each one of us. I know there have been times where my wife and I will be somewhere, and sometimes, like when we went to Philadelphia and saw Hamilton, there was a moment at which she's like, we don't have to go back home. And she's right. We don't. But we did. But at the same time, we don't have to, right? And there's not really I got to apply for time off, There all of those things, and I know it may not seem like much right now, and it may seem like it's far off. But that's exactly why we're here, is to help you make it happen, to help you get caught up, to implement the best practices that we have developed that work across many different languages and countries, because it's based upon humans. Now, our next session is all around, we'll begin at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, 3:30 p.m., which is a little more than an hour from now. And I think you're going to like that one too, because you saw a lot of content. You see that we have a lot of it, and maybe, you just got a few more questions about how does each one of the things work. So do us a favor. Get those questions ready. And because what we would love to do, if you've got a question, you want to talk at length, you think it's a long question, a difficult question, or something of that nature, by all means, we'll even be available so that you can talk with me directly live. I'll hear you, you'll hear me. We'll get through the questions, and any other questions that come in the chat, obviously, we will get those too. But ultimately, I want to break down what those next steps look like. I want to break down a way for you to be able to track your progress. And ultimately, I'm going to show you some math that will help you to see the power of passive income. Ladies and gentlemen, I am glad that you are taking the time to be here. Make sure, if you haven't already, to go grab a call with Rob or Jeremy, CashFlowDiary.com/2020. Take advantage of the bonuses while they're still here. And ultimately, what we want you to do is we want you to become a bigger, better, better version of yourself. We want to assist you through that, because at the end of the day, no one gets there alone. We didn't get there alone. We had help, and now we help each other. So let's move forward together, because not only would it be fun, but it's awesome to make friends along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you in just a few moments. Look forward to talking to you soon. Until next time.